in Aston Villa make 4 changes from last week's win at VillaPark. Harvey Elliott, who's on loan from Liverpool, comes in from the cold and plays for the first time since the 2nd of October at final. 18-year-old midfielder George Hemmings makes his full debut after 3 substitute appearances. Emi Martinez returns in goal, and Amadou Onana replaces the injured Yuri Tielemans in midfield. Strip and Tanrod Mings the tier countage tonight. This evening's match officials are Bob Norley, a referee Rolet Saji, who takes charge of his 3rd EuropeLeague group stage match of the season. Robert Stoddard from Germany is the video assistant referee. Salzburg were 3-1 winners over Basel last week. There's just one change tonight. Karin Konato starting up front instead of EuropeVsSalzburg, who misses the trip to Birmingham through illness. It's a young side. 18-year-old Bosnian international Kerim Alapajbegovic has 10 goals this season, including 2 last week against Basel, while central defenders Yannick Schuster and Joan Gadu are both 19 years old. Franz Prinzip is the old man of the back line, 22. Well, there's something that we haven't seen for quite some time. Harvey Elliott in the field of play in play only in front of the time. Very much on the sidelines with Villa required to buy him once he's played 10 matches for them, which is why they're not playing it. This is his 6th appearance for them, but he hasn't even been in the squad since October. Salzburg will get us underway. Reminder at the start of play, AstonVillaMatch, they'd be already qualified for the round of 16. Their position within the top 8 is the only thing they're playing for. And RB Salzburg, 29th in the standings. At kickoff, they need to get into the top 24. They need to win this game and cross their fingers. But it is quite dear for Aston Villa. Into Ollie Hopkins is going to have a step by the dead keeper. What a job set for Aston Elliott. Wendy tries to send it back in. Deep in with the cross. Shaq showing messaging. Almost the perfect return for the team for Harvey Elliott there. Lamar Burkhardt had a chance to dip the ball away. Thought here by Kratzy. What a start from Villa. Free pick for the foul on Elliott. Let's need a stunning start that inning was for Harvey Elliott. Wendia into Hopkins has sensed the opportunity to shoot. Wendia, Watkins with the shot. Elliott was onside and it was saved by the goalkeeper's key. Goalkeeper Alexander Shiraga just Yochu's feet here. And it bounces off his left field. What a stop by the Austrian international, even though he knew next to nothing about it. Swept it by Egypt. Yeah. And as captain for the night, Tyler Minks up from the back there, and Minks only returned from a lengthy absence with a hamstring injury last week in Istanbul against AstonVillaMatch, he was outstanding, actually, must be said, in the way that the handled the former Villa striker John Brown. Here's Pitster. Used to play for Brentford in the England. That's Pitster. Captain these days at Salzburg today. That's right, about Vinting Mings. It's a good partnership, Mings and Lindelof in central defence in Turkey last week. Tingler is going straight down the throat of the defence. Big test for Gadu and Schuster. Have to back the 2 teenage central defenders. And support appearance. Bogart. Excitement among the crowd the other time when David Suiz and Tammy Abraham went through a look about half an hour before the match. Torn wide was this week. Villa having on baby back from the Drogba as well, and Burnley Payne was to mention the winner Newcastle in the Premier League at the weekend. Tears Point Dean, who scored the opening goal on Sunday at St James's Park. Hopkins being checked by Gadu. Hopkins on target at the weekend as well. His 8th of the season, all of them in the Premier League and in Europe so far. Villa with the 1-0 win over Bologna at home. 2-0 win over Maccabi Tel Aviv. 2-1 against the Young Boys. It was their final LeaguePhase match with Vola's Dina. Sent it straight into the gloves of Sharpen. And Salzburg have lost 5 and won 2 of the 7 matches they played. A touch here for Konate, the Ivorian. Wicket conceded by Lindelof. Pitched up was a bit too quick now after the Norwegian referees like it. Put it to by Yannick Schista. And here is Joan Gadou, the France under-19 international. Signed in 2024 the Paris Saint-Germain lead system. Bogart showing his versatility again tonight. He played in a defensive midfield role in his most recent appearance before this evening, slotting in at right back with Andres Garcia. Might have played to give Matty Crash a rest, but Garcia has a hamstring injury. He's only just back from injury actually, but Garcia is going to be out for about 3 weeks with a hamstring. He did the space now for Elliot Schnassen over to firmly strapped for Jadon Sancho. Over this side, by the way, AstonVilla's to do well forward, heading off Hamlin to Vista Place to her. It's said to happen at the moment, releasing the door. So, yes, I'm heading out the door to South London. It's he's not involved at all this evening. Ball out to Konate on the near side, target player talking of Ivorian forwards. Kieran Konate. Bogart with time to clear, picking out Sancho. Scored his first Villa goal last week in Istanbul. Onana whipping it forward up towards Watkins. Tidied up by Kratzik, the German left back for Salzburg. He was one of the goal scorers last week. Schuster with a bit of a chance to keep it in play. It was the under 21 international for Austrian Football. In possession, now it's her. Hopkins keeping her out. Going pressure on Survivor Diabate. Too far in front of Edmund Baidu, the Ghanaian. There's Maidens into Buendia. Now Anana. And dangerous that better of Doc. Why do they need Anana to stay thin? Nice couple of months at least. Things away to Digne. This is George Hemmings under pressure in midfield, losing out to Bidstrup. Lovely ball from Bidstrup, just sliding it through to Konate. Safely back with Annie Martinez. Sort of Kitano there in the heart of Salzburg's midfielders. Martinez making his 4th European appearance of the season this evening. Support ball there by Maidens. Certainly better could be under a little pressure, but sent back by Lindell up to his goalkeeper and thanks forward teams. Didier, Gouda losing it again. Stitano forward, Konate collecting and tidied up by Onana, who's strides purposefully away. Has some support here with Edia. Sancho available on the near side. Elliot on the overlap, the two combining. Elliot he chased, only one quite there. Aston Villa quick to break, and for a moment there looked to be posing up a very real threat on the Austrian goal. Here's Konate. Baidu chasing. Couple to interception there by Mims. Definitely Digne. Tiring it by Schusterman ahead of Watkins. About him. Serving it for all there. Fritano back to Bidstrup. Forward. Gadu with the long ball. Hogarth take on Karim Konate. So starting the EuropeNight this season for Konate. Alay Degovic number 27, worth keeping an eye on. It's having to the tapping player. There he is once more. This is DieRotenBullen. Slided from the setup. Kitano. So to Kitano, pop made by Onana. And Digne will have the opportunity to clear. Hennings under pressure. Kill kick is back the best netted to Bidstrup to get a free kick. Hennings with the challenge on Bidstrup. A tug of the chat there. Improvisation from Edmund Baidu. Away by Mings into Buendia. It's back for the Argentinian. Lots of space in that middle third at the moment. Just about gets it past the Aparto. Elliott meeting it on quick heat in Sancho. Back with Harvey Elliott once more. On the ball, but not standing in the eyes of the Norwegian referee. Bidstrup. Down there, some distance on that. Connected by George Hemmings in midfield, the 18-year-old. Big day for him. First start for the team after 3 recent substitute appearances. Good opportunity as well with the injuries up at the moment. This Sancho, Bogard. They're surviving up. Tough league last week. 2 difficult away matches in Istanbul against Fenerbahce and at St James's Park against Newcastle. Both matches won without conceding. And Jadon Sancho scored the goal in EuropaLeague last week with a 1-0 victory. Means Hopkins in the middle. Means has gone forward as well into the penalty area. Hemmings, Sancho. Dug up and connected by Boyd Dier. That turned on the change on Nelson Tin Truba. And this will be about from Schlauder. Flag up on the far side, free kick. Just all 4 matches away from home this season in Europe. And Selectors team. Heaviest defeat 5-1 at Colonia. That word gets past our sweepers, giving them some hope. Oh, making it into the payoff round. They need to win this match in order to do that, though, which would be their first ever win against an English team. Victor Lindelof. Doka. Moving on towards Sancho. Some into the middle of the field and Bidstrup. That with Yannick Schuster. Offside. It's Bible. He's the other teammate around the team by him. It's 19. And teammates doing that usually and trying to lure the opposition somewhat. Meets. And to Hennings. And I get away from his mask. Get a free kick for a Creedle Grizzly against Aston. Positive move there from George Hemmings. Averting the area there from referee Sota Kitano, the Japan international, for the sound on headers. Salzburg confident venture up towards the halfway line. Elliott, Watchung for Neil Sancho on the near side. Onana just holding that to Kai Harvey earlier. One back for Salzburg by Anai Begedic. Right to the far side and to Bitstrup. Lemmings challenges, unfair according to the referee. Been a while now since Mads Bitstrup was adding in England. He was with Brentford up to summer of 2023. A little surprised to see you and Emery's team having a bit more of the possession early on in this match. Little to show for it so far. Very unlucky not to score in the opening 30 seconds or so there. Onana heading into a tangle. This is Gipper. Perhaps an opportunity to chink there for Canate, not much of at all. Pass it all to goal. It was a super solid double ties to deny Shumana Diabato. Can't be Kudamote. That's it for Epic W7 from Emiliano Martinez. It's a sight mean concern as the Villapans everywhere. Have a do another on the out. Purpose what very Barabi Salzburg. Canate trying to pick his way through, blasted towards the goal by Diabate, and then Canate denied as well. Sumptuous drive by Diabate. Bit of pressure here from the Austrian team. And it's comfortable for the keeper. Bogart. Away from Pegovic, but the Bosnian has it back. And nudge forward up towards Bailey, but very technically dealt with by Mings, the Villa captain. Headings. West midway through the first half as Junior goes too long. Europa League campaign for RB Salzburg. Only Ajax with 13 have played in more, but first time in a little while for them. In recent seasons it's been World Champions League for 17-time Austrian champions. John Dadu with the ball forward. Hemmings. Onana. Pass idea, trying to find Hopkins. Back with John Dadu. Support and Bitstrup away to Timish. Trudeau on the far side. And that by the busy figure of Buendia. That's excellent from Onana. Oh, just out of reach from Hopkins. Just wondering what you felt that a little bit watching. So terribly comfortable. Sumana Diabate with the Marian contingent in the Salzburg squad. No foul, and Sancho now with a chance to run in the defence. Diabate getting back outside. Elliott continues to look lively. Bulgard Nashi. Now Lindelof. Be the other Buendia. Selected by Sancho. Lovely pass into Hopkins. And Harvey Elliott was in a really good position on the right hand edge of the penalty area. This is good time, eh? And space for Diabate. Some interception and none. Really good play. Lupadinho. The easy header for Gadu. What that high header. Elliott into Sancho. Now an excellent head away from Kitado. Now it's Bundy. Collected by Ding. Direct out of the penalty area by Savannah Diabate. Good look there. Sancho. Fabio able to count it out. Harvey to connect. Rana into Hopkins. Shot for play there as Sancho. Looks for Elliott and finds him with the important. Villa's first corner of the game. That's blocked by Sancho, but really lucky to have it done. Space for Jadon Sancho, ready to take it down. Tender. Met once more by Diabate, who's done some good work here helping his defenders out inside his own box. And Dagovic gaining ground. Skill for McShiting, and it's an excellent pass into Karim Konate. RB Salzburg quick to break. Konate. Bandu. The survive 5 comes up eventually. There's a blade start for Villa's defenders for the amount of time it took before the flag was announced. There, offside as it's played forward by half a step at least. Konate. Not long back from an ACL injury. He's missed most of the season. Konate was continuing to recover from that. Cote d'Ivoire international. This is his 5th appearance since his return. Salzburg, by the way, now still in the midst of a mid-season break. The Austrian Bundesliga stops in the middle of December. Doesn't start again until the back end of next week. So 6th of February it resumes as they play 2 or 3 matches over the past few weeks, as well as the game against Basel. Try and keep themselves sharp ahead of their final couple of games in the Europa League, but have played a lot since the 13th of December. Pick away by the Marco Dar. Sortepitano, dangerous looking great, needs support. The deduction pulling off Victor Lindelof. Sporadic threats from the Austrian side, enough to be of some concern for Villa in this first half. Remember, this is a match that RB Salzburg have to win if they don't have any chance of qualifying for the playoffs. The way the games are going at the moment, Villa are actually in real time first in the table above Lyon. Salzburg is still outside the top 24. They're 27th. Measured to Martinez. Time, space for Hennings into Buendia. But the lucky there. But it fell at the feet of Harvey Elliott. Here's Lucadinha. Elliott nearby in support. This is Buendia. Peter Hemmings. Urged to sweep out the crowd. That opportunity evaporating swiftly. Plenty of red and white shirts immediately set and in position behind the ball. Half an hour at VillaPark, stood away from the first goal of the night. And both had one in the opening minute. Haven't been as close at either end since. Unfair from Bodard, back by DieRotenBullen. You're going to take that. You're challenged by Suchet. Stuck at every game and on the side here, Barton in Europe this season. Shelley's landing to the team already tonight. This is Begovic away to the far side, split by Truba. Vargas. Well, Hydus of Wales watching the match tonight and having Aston Villa supporting. Not unusual to see him to the park watching the games. 1-1 back by Buendia. Kitane harassing the Villa midfield. George Hemmings. And C to free again. Hemmings arrived in January of 2024, 2 years ago, from Nottingham Forest. They didn't want to lose it. Very highly regarded young talent. Made his debut as a substitute for Villa at Aston a few weeks ago in the Premier League. But came off the bench against Everton recently and very briefly last week in Istanbul. Stumble that by means. That's the jump. I mean, he's didn't stop a goal for the big shots, but ball from a definitive mistake by DieRotenBullen, and Villa are behind. In a match that Salzburg has to win. Jamalte's finished it off, but it was a defensive mess from the onside. The stumbling from Mings. It's an absolute different penalty. He almost missed it. Lindelof tried to rescue the situation, but couldn't manage it. Was it going in anyway, or was it going wide of the punch before Lindelof came across? Means with a big mistake. The Miskin left the door wide open. Baidu, Tronate. And then off Victor Lindelof. Oh, the pair of them were so good in Istanbul a week ago. But they've combined tonight. And now Villa are behind at home. So in real time, Salzburg up to 24th. And Villa out to Villa guaranteed top 8, already through to the round of 16. And Salzburg, as it stands, would sneak into the knockout playoff round. A way to go, of course, with the best part of an hour to try to come back in the match, and Mings almost caught out getting possession. He's not had a great couple of minutes. The bounce beats Schiller, when Bier beats Battles. They'll be the first part of the match. And maybe we'll go to Tip Schiller. And Ollie Watkins has had to go up. It looked as if he picked up an injury a few minutes ago, running forward. I'm not sure whether that's a hamstring issue. But Morgan Rogers, who was having a rest today, and required to come in 10 minutes before half. So that's not a great move sign for better fans. Ollie Watkins, and hopefully no major issue for him. Hopefully precautionary more than anything else. There, he stretched early in the game. Look, just watch this. It looked as if he just maybe tweaked that right hamstring, possibly. So Villa behind and without Watkins for the rest of the match. Tammy Abraham on the spot for the weekend, no doubt, against Brentford, and Havings has lost the ball. And Villa Baidu looks for that big. Brings a save with Martino. Brown getting a bit anxious. Oh, it did spell for us like this. Something a bit vulnerable. Havings out Baidu, then out hustled, dispossessed. Villa need to settle into the game again a little bit more. First touch here from Rogers into Buendia. No down. That's bridge stop, brings it away. Collected by Sotoquitano. Taken away by Alexander Schlager, who hasn't really had very much to do for quite a while in this match now. The Lynx has got some chasing to do. Baidu's still going here. It's Button for Salzburg and Bergard darting off. Only off, but enable Martinez to get another attempting to from RB Salzburg. Well, they're very much second best in the last 2 minutes of his game. Straight through to Scharger. Definitely looked like a hamstring issue for Watkins. That's not good, so Villa. Bergard. Forward off the boot of Dina. It's Rogers chasing after it. Gavin comfortably finding his goalkeeper. Schuster into Platzi to play the side in Bayern München last summer. Won by Bergard, the Dutchman, Lindelof. to know with the header. Won by Diabate. Saga for the free kick of Son. Now the Salzburg, a team who played in the Champions League last season. They lost 7 of the 8 matches they played. The one win they did manage was away from home. 3-1 at final. Onana in towards Rodgers. Did really well under touchdown Morgan Rodgers. The same picks himself up the opportunity to bring it away for Diabate. Here's Weasley for Demian. Hemmings, nicely done. Away from Bidstrom. DieRotenBullen is tied up by Triller. Another can't bring it under control. Begovic. He's going to go for the ball himself and really sends it halfway back into the lower tier of the 10. 5 minutes to half time. Here's the goal. Canate's shot. Well, it looked like it was going to hit the post, probably. Pressing the line despite the desperate efforts to nip them up.
Hemmings loses possession. This is Diabate, and that's Bidstrom.
Boulder. The middle midfield. Some first half there, Thomas Jansch's side, but better looking to finish it strong. And it will chase, but big head start and Yannick Schuster.
Barbieri, who returned to the matchday squad at Newcastle at the weekend. It was his first time in Premier League matchday squad since the middle of October. His last appearance before tonight, October the 2nd at final, 2 minutes in EuropaLeague. It's his 6th appearance for Villa this season. And I think it through the head at all. And we'll do Onana to Bogart.
Villa certainly not firing on cylinders here so far tonight. Hemmings to Onana. Assist Elliott on to Jadon Sancho. Going to drive for Sancho in a frustrating first half. Other teams in a similar position to Salzburg are performing well enough to keep them out of the top 24 at the moment. Salzburg 25th in the standings. They need to win this game, and they are slightly reliant on others around them as well. Further in real time, third in the table. Tyrone Mings. A bit too long with that one. Record winner of the Europa League. 4 times he's lifted a trophy, 3 years running with Sevilla. 2014, 15 and 16, and then in 2021 with Villarreal. Dinhas giving it away. Lindelof Diaz. And they're struggling defensively there as well. Kaidu stayed on the deck. The match continues up the other end of the field. Kaidu under pressure. Finds the Abate. And Salzburg should get it away. Yeah, the ball out of play because they've got a teammate on the ground inside the penalty area, the other end of the field. Yeah, and Baidu player down. He swaps this here. The pass from Digne didn't really have enough to get it back to the goalkeeper. Got 1 minute of additional time, a minimum off here. And then Aston Villa with work to do in this final LeaguePhase fixture. Gifted a goal for RB Salzburg. In just over half an hour play. So they're unbeaten at home in Europe throughout the whole of last season in the Champions League, including the quarter-final match with Paris Saint-Germain. Last defeat of home in Europe was 2 seasons ago, the semi-final of the Conference League. They're beaten here by Olympiacos. And much it's off points in that home since there in Europe was what didn't win at home in Europe the last couple of seasons was a goalless draw with Juventus last season in the Champions League. Won all their other matches at VillaPark. With a 100% home record this season as well until tonight. Final few seconds of the opening half. Ming sending it forward. Buendia travelling onto the ball. Ref has a little look at his watch. Maybe time for this one last attack of the half. There goes the half-time whistle. Well, RB Salzburg need to cause a bit of an upset in this final match against the competition favourites if they're to stand a chance of going through to the playoff knockout round, and that is precisely what they're doing at the moment. Was stunned by time endings, pranced upon by the Salzburg attack. Kogate shot, going in by a very sizable deflection of Victor Lindelof. Aston Villa already qualified for the round of 16, training at half-time. Villa 0, Salzburg 1. We have got a real contest at our hands. We're plenty to cheer about. Oh, correct. The second stop. Last. The stop. Fifth stop. Bob Spirit. No, that's Tower. High ball tennis from center. Djokovic. It's a ball top. So Jim. It's Kello's top. AO comes to Clark v Singapore. That just Australian Open spreading live from City Finals at AO by the King. An exclusive AO merchandise to be won. No adjustment, what's the AO? Eliminate.
Here are my projects on how to ace the Australia Opens. Both these. If you're bringing the kids, there's plenty to do. This year, Water Slide Edition is great. But if it is, you have to just bring your own support and be over 100 centimeters tall. You can court is the place to be. They have live days like high performances throughout the air. And here for the third, you'll find the best Shake Shack in Australia at 7 famous Shack Level. If you're a 3D, the hair has brought in some of Melbourne's best eaters to the park. Remember to come early, lives can get pretty low. For an unlimited bring your refillable drink bottle because there's one station all throughout the park. If you're looking for a way to have a lot of tennis all at once, don't forget to check out the newly added bridge from courts 5 to 8 where you can catch all of the action from multiple views. Remember that the Australian sun is very harsh, but you can grab free sunscreen throughout the park. Just look, slap. Don't forget to download the AO app so anything is there handy enough as scheduled to plan out the perfect day. There's something for everyone. This is the moment you wait for as a Siemens player to get the opportunity to run out the players that have been here before the superstars right across the waiter. Oh man, everything. The slow line to potential door and sometimes something said was important. Is the opportunity. Squared one up. Very much a gladiatorial stroll into this area. Forward, you can feel, hear it, sense it, singing it hard. Cleverly, everything on the building down. Okay? It's decent play. Be better. You can do that. Yeah. Sit, spin. Circles, this. Beats just, but just. Rare set buttons. Between my 6 lovers. Because when the absolutely smoked, it's blood's doing troubling. It's decibels here. What a suck it is at the foot of Siding Mountain. Give me 2 sets right there. 28 nice to the. So. That's up. Passing that. So. I check. Chad gone son. His team. Joe.
FullMatch on the legal sites for Life 21. They'll gain access to your phone, to your accounts, passwords, and personal emails. They can drain your bank account, steal your identity. They'll know everything about you. Everything. You get parts at football. They get you. Welcome to Makan Neme. It's spicy.
Green. This is Etaten. Set up. Makalene approve. Alex Spacey. Would split that force that is not too bad. Data week. But the Saba is good. But here, not too bad. Yeah. Surprise me. I like it. This is what you want. It's so bold. I'm African. We're born with a source like Lisa. I think the food, Malaysia food, is similar from African. Okay, let this. I don't know if it's soup, meat, chicken, maybe. Fresh. That's nice. Whoa. Squashed. Yeah, I knew. Et non, Mané Zelsi. Premier double, but bon, il était plein, c'était now, it's at 4-3. That letness are wasted. is replaced by Cash. So Bogart presumably will just go forward into midfielder on side Avenue and not having Cash will play the usual right back position. This sort of opening 45 minutes, I think Iowa has been used to seeing from his team. No changes made by visiting side at the break. Freud Sachi Motherway is Rapnari. AstonVilla have won their last 6 matches at home in European football, but find themselves behind in this one defensive error, leading to the only goal of the match so far with just over half an hour played. A reminder, Villa will have a top 8 finish come what may. They will go straight through to the round of 16, that's already assured. And Konate, who was injured just before the break, has gone off, and is on to him. Konate, the goal scorer, is replaced by Musa Yo, a 21-year-old Mali. And yes, 15 minutes last week defensive Basel. Both teams trying to get the sound of a second by John Hopkins into Elliott. Can't find a way through. Baidu, the touch from Kitana, DieRotenBullen in midfield. Tidy play here from Salzburg. And back with Shaga, their experienced international goalkeeper. Bate. Cash launching that throw, each perfect almost into Morgan Rogers. Gerdo sends it across to Kratzig. Guy Mings. Third, Boca. Villa just the 1 defeat so far, 6 wins and 1 defeat from their 7 matches in EuropeLeague tonight. Beaten 2-1 away in the Netherlands by go-ahead Eagles. Dini. Departed Kenchuli Truman. Ivan Wendia, guitar, Vidstock, Truman now on the chance to whip it into the box. Only pressure it is. It's and it's this substitute. There's only just come up the match. Substitute it out. Tap sick. She don't put the shot in. Pilot 12 went Street, hardly believe it. And neither convinced of a people inside VillaPark. AstonVillaVsSalzburg 2. What a start to the second half. And what an entrance to the match. That very set, yeah. And I think of it causing the Providence. And Yo was quite to pass. Had turned it past Danny Martinez. And Aston Villa with a lot to do in this second half now. It's the night's time. Salzburg have played English opposition and have never enjoyed a win against English opponents, but they're loving this one. Buendia. under real pressure. Banana. Villa goal kick. They were a disastrous start to the second half for Villa. Lindelof. Jadon Sancho. He's got watches in the middle. Cash up in support too. And it's an easy one to show. Frustration on Buendia there. I don't think he's moved against the post. Just 2 defeats in the last 18 launches they've played in World Competition. Speaking at Aston, the Premier League. They've home by Everton past, home sting by 1-0, you know, a couple of weeks ahead. Elliott finding Miggs and Spottinho on the near side. Rogers on the Satsa, Gadu and Suba to Bayern to relieve him at the bar. This is Mings again. Dina. Danica back past Cholo. Pizzano with the header on. Connected by Edmund Baidu. To say actually Salzburg look pretty dangerous every time they venture forward. This is terrific play from the 18-year-old Bosnian. Veteran Begovic. Get the free kick. So another great night for the home sides. They're 2 down and losing Ollie Hopkins to look like a muscle injury in the first half. Has to 7 for a corner. Villagers Calvin Yo's 3rd goal of the season. Begovic, the creator, sharply finished. On the way to an actual presence on the field. Third of the season, first in Europe then. Wings into Harvey Elliott. Sancho ahead at Pasham's side. Villa in mealtime in 4th place in the table. Salzburg 23rd, so they do what they can to put themselves in contention to stay in the competition, but they're reliant on other results at the moment. It's not just about what they do. You need other results to go their way too. In it. Into Rogers. Nicely done. It's Wandian. Held up enough to ensure that he couldn't quite get enough on it. Play by DieRotenBullen. Mings wins with that, and Spitzenton and Nidio then scored the second goal. Salzburg had lost 5 of the 7 matches they've played. Ostima at Lyon, 4-1 at Bologna, 1-0 at Freiburg, and Aston playing 3-2 to Ferencváros and 1-0 to Porto. The 2 wins they've nabbed, they beat Go-Ahead Eagles 2-0 at home and Basel 3-1 at home. Sancho, Elliott, Villa looking for a bit more spark. Sancho, good just beyond Wendy. Dina takes it along. Look on the shot for Wendy after giving it out from underneath and speed quickly. That was better from the home side. Into bear quality near this sharp passing exchange. Ten minutes into the second half. John Gadu away. Covered by Count. What a special night this could be for Thomas Lech. It's a silver year in the job now as the coach at Salzburg. And the sang this night for they to get the points and manage to survive in the competition. In with the way to Sanchez, to Sancho. Sancho's ball back in doesn't quite reach Charlie Elliott. Matt Spidstruck makes sure of that. Jadon Sancho to Elliott with a little bit of space. Finger keeper's ball. Here comes Sancho again, looking for Rodgers. Held up by Gadu. This is Elliott into Bogart. Bridget, another third spot for what either from their own team's point of view. Musa, the goal scorer, a little too quick to challenge Bogart now. It's the first of two home games in the space of a few days for Villa. They pushed in Brentford on Sunday afternoon in the Premier League. 3 matches with Villa, that one against Brentford and Bournemouth away in Brighton at home. Salzburg back in lead action until the end of the next to be their first match since the middle of December. Luca Digne to the striking. Tilting that one in, and we had a doubt for Mamadou Nana. It was an easy clearance. Soumaïla Diabate. Okay. Rodgers. Tracked by Bidstrup. Suspa. Frustrating night for the Europa League favourites. A skillful play, Kitano, nicely done, Yo. And Truva back into Shah and Gadu. For the two central defenders, Gadu and Schuster, both 19 years of age, the heart of the defence. The right back, Tim Truva, has got the ball now. He's only 20 as well. He's away. Chased by Faidid, he's got Mings for company. Shigitzel, an exuberant team from Salzburg. Trevor across, Lindev up the way, only as far as Diabate. Gitani, it's a chance. That was a big chance for number 3. Well, you could argue with the opportunities they've had in both halves that Salzburg could easily be leading by more than 2. There's something about scoring record actually. Kitano, the Japan international, 4 goals in 13 Austrian Bundesliga appearances. He made the move in Japan last summer. Half an hour to go at VillaPark. Martinez into Jadon Sancho, whose skills are never in doubt. Cash. Here's Sancho. Back into Matty Cash. Now it's Digne. Deflection is not a kind one for Villa, and that's Bidstrup that connects. Then if they think as well, from a challenge from Madonana, no, it's going to be a turn. Sancho chasing and shifts to their thirst. Well, Villa fans know their team are already through to the round of 16, but they want a big final half an hour. Stanley can pass. First match in charge of a team that is so competition. I am ready. Lowers it in the air, Katani. It's an excellent turn from Baidi, Ghanaian. Turn away from Amadou Onana, Baidi Tani, and then timed with challenge to perfection and skill from Buendia, from Digne. And Buendia losing well. Good play. Catch. Keeps Morgan Rogers and Hey Pippa. Edgar's getting a bit tangled up there with Susna. Have the ball. Here it's made by Crancy. He took Guitardo, got some space. Bidstrup. Oh, here's the Truba. And here's Bidstrup. Diabate. Salzburg bidding to reach the knockout stage for the 10th time. Currently down in 26th position in the table. It's really tight at the bottom end of the playoff positions. But they're a point short. Point short of the young boys and about 2 other teams as well. The young boys are a point better off, and they're still not in the top 24. There's number Homsa. It's with Buendia. Collecting there by Morgan Rogers. Leila edge still into big to Victor Rogers. They're back in the day. It's 2-1. That was a lovely goal. Above the knees. Option quality. A quality finish from Morgan Rogers. Ball one in the air by Mings. Rogers there. I think just onside. Collected by Wade the young lad into Rogers. It's like exchange. And then the finish getting in home. Aston Villa 1. Salzburg 2. And it sets us up nicely for what remains of the match. Checking for a potential offside in the lead up to the goal. The goal is good. Until an 80 yipped onside. And with 25 minutes to go, it's a 1-goal game. It was so how am I doing harder is being replaced in a moment. That's in Pom song. Having on and so to Mardi in general. Hello, but and it went dear Hoth. And hello, but on saw him. Husband dear. Rusting up ahead at the weekend. Fernand Charles de Bois. And here's Gino over. Only just onto the field. Looking to make his mark. Get up my hand. He's in the top club. What? Welcome to the match. Gino. Just watch this as he spot. Like took me a jump by Alex at the Sharget. Bring that sprinting into life. I did that substitution, Jonathan Gino. Set back in, Cod says stretching for it, not quite getting there. They're up at about now. White happy to be going. Midway through the second half. Connected by Luca Digne. There's Jadon Sancho. So they keep him to your favourite end of the stadium. Lovely looking ball from Luca Digne. Midnight gets the attack alive. Boga. Just trying to find finish. Barely picked out. Carried. Ali Degovic. Baidu. It's up at him. Here's Yellow to score the second goal. Don't think. Mix. Given away by Jamaldi Jimmo. I'll tell you to try and run it down. The Sailor 20 age remain. Here's Elliott. Snudger's testing grit from Simulator DFR has been really steady. Titano forward. Tash in there first, ahead of Anna Degedic. The Schupansen presents. Funster and onside Ming, so Liddelether's new forward and side. And up Ogard in a simple defensive midfielder on the area of the pitch where so many injury issues at the moment. Of course, they did have Dadisner to add to the mix going forward. And in that area at the Seeders. There's forward. Fifth by Pratzig initially to bring the attack to a halt, given away by Baidu. And yet found Keycom does well to win it back. Into ball Janakis. Then it's free kick. Quick to take it. Harbiania. Now with Watches. The feet of Jadon Sancho. Catch. Try play it into Ultra Sancho keeps the attack alive. Now hustled at the back, who should do corner. Well, they're upping the tempo here from the hand power's point of view, not the thought tonight. He thought in the standings. Salzburg 26. And then referee Roy Sati from Norway with some points he wishes to make. Of Samila, Diabate and Timon means the two players have spoken to by the referee. Things getting hands on inside the situation. Bops. Here he comes. And Harbiania sends it over the top of the crossbar. And there's space for Elliot there inside the box. A decent opportunity. Now we're going to see Clement Bischoff now for Salzburg and also Karim Obisiwal, from Austrian international. Badu player going out, and also Kerim Degovic. Elliot. There's Prantsiger from the back here. Movement by Timon Nings, and his power is Tim Sula. And something kind of sound getting all forward and is fouled as well by Kitana. Another thing, no dependable was paid forward and what just inside, dying to score. Genius. Schimmer with make like Bidster, Charrington, Bergard, and Pretty. Chumsy from Lucio. Dinit. Results. Four. Fauchon shot is goal headed away by Johan Gadou. Fancy catch. Decent. Judge. That shot it was his mistake. The Benjamin had been gone to go. But that's the perfect response from Aston Villa's captain. Chach with a chance. Zulep couple header. He's a Matlon summit. It's just an ecstatic delivery. Salzburg 2. Another terrific second half comeback. And they see where they're chasing. Swing down and a free kick. Sergio Ponce on the ground. So, the goal from Tyler Neas names Villa Parky third in the table, and Salzburg Turner 6th. Worth another no? Head out the header of the week must be from Benfica's goalkeeper in the Champions League against Real Madrid, but once and Tyra means not too far behind it. It's emphatic nature. The idea of it looking on that he's charged now, Schuster. And Caden Young is got to come on for Aston Villa here. Opportunity for another youngster, this time replacing Jadon Sancho. But opportunity on a big stage for Finnish young players, a 20-year-old winger, Caden Young. His third appearance for the first team. Potts is shoveling the beds to Pio, it's Villa's ball. He says, pregnable that it's a free king. The previous appearances have with Caden now in the first team were the DFL Cup last season. Philippines debut for him. Titano. No foul by Bogart. Brings it away. Finding Elliott. Filling off second best there against Olisibo. So to get to his feet. Dini. Keep the Givaldine. Marcus to reach Forges. Villans is there. Demon. Nindo. Stay the 10 minutes to go. Set up for a grandstand finish to be under the LeaguePhase campaign. Even DieRotenBullen takes a big pass as well. The Stigling header. Shoe stop. Pressure starting to build on the Austrian defence here as we go into the final 10 minutes. It's out with the chance to clear. Has Chaddy's fire. He'll have a free kick. Hefty repeat. Tackle on the right back. Utadi. Bounce play. Even Rogers. With CeeLo. The number of points with EuropeNight in real time at the top of the table, but and goal difference. That's outside it is at the top of the Europa League table. Junoilova. Boga. This is catch. Junoilova. He's going to have another turn. And yet challenging for it. It's an untimely slip in the bidding next to Boga challenging. Junoilova. Pressure starting to build. Rogers painted. It's probably correct being quite sharp that. But they're coming on strong the longer the next goes on. Surprised to see that it was more of a ball. It's over the night tonight. 2-0 down so far. Play by James. Gitana going to get away from Lindelof. Down on the Seaboard. Made to the far side. Continues Terrence. Steve Barte's header. Things surfing for the run of Rodgers, who's got Gadu to accompany. Trimmer nearby as well. Denarvoda. Hobson. Oh, Caden, yeah, the substitute. One to really look about Villa's team and the team look about it. Suits about Villans and loves additional time remaining at VillaPark. This league phase for his team. As it stands, Salzburg going out of the competition. Burning Edictus as it has been in the Champions League the last 3 seasons for them. But they were kicked off in the Club World Cup as well last summer in the United States. Did manage to win one of their matches against Pachuca. The second power. Diabate. 19 minutes have had your turn to see that one coming. Diabate. Zing towards Bischoff. Turned by Martinez, who didn't have the power ball that he was hoping for. Elliott back to Kemp. Losing out to Bischoff. Yo. Salzburg, but one sign of big timber. Just snoozing his way a little. Villa with a chance to break now with Morgan Rogers, Caden Young on the far side. Obievia in support on the right. Young's ball in. Here's a chance. Jim. What the some? At the top, the depth of at the young substitute spot is don't stop a commenting at all. That to the honor. Finchok na Motta, Piston, up the set launch, Amy. Depths, and not that in it, Madden's carrying out. And then Junior set up. Pitch out, still with a touch. He saw two. Well, he's been pelted to it, he's been pumped a bit. But it's certainly not his first shot on goal in the time that he's been on the pitch. Kenya off the bench with the ball across. Kept his good part of his yard. And just calmly slaughtered it out. Jamal Villapark. 2-0 down early in the second half. Villa leads 3-2. In the 88th minute of the game. What a moment in front of the old deck. Villa second in the Europa League table in real time. RB Salzburg down to 31st at the moment. For sure signing up of the competition. Elimination staring them in the face. Villa already guaranteed a top 8 position. Jimo Aloba dispossessed. And now Villa will need to defend, but Mings is there. Salzburg with limited time to come back now. Sure, but can they create one final goal-scoring opportunity in AstonVilla's? Terrific entertain at this second half. Did look right to Villa with Lucien, but Salzburg 2-0 in the 40th tonight. But listen to the crowd and change. Kitano's work is done for the night. And Lawrence Jäger, Danish central midfielder, is gone. Minutes spelade. Have the ball, nor have a minimum code 3 additional minutes. What's if I do thing? Starts just like you're mostly being in your to come out to bench and as Catalans in the Premier League and Mats will be on for a third after the Malt. One of that chip's turned into youth so good that Salzburg so long that are not equalising until roughly a quarter of an hour from the end of the game. I think they've been behind until 25 minutes from time. And then Villans with the pretty thick referee having allowed play to continue and bring it back for the challenge. AstonVilla, if it stays like this, will win for the 7th time in a row at home in European football. Now they will be a new cover with 4 European wins in a row. 5 European wins in a row. Maybe an appearance. Set up and winning goal, okay then yes. So then there's young talents combining. The goal number scoring. Tuma moving out to Dunit. With the free kick, was trying to sign Morgan Rogers. Fabian sending it away to the far side. This is just Jamaldine Jamado. Final few seconds of this Europa League phase at VillaPark for these two. There's a follow I saw. Well, it was a tremendous drop for AstonVilla, but though before leaving them a little 90 right, and not be Salzburg. It went in it up early in the second hour. But a comeback with goals from Morgan Rogers, DieRotenBullen, and then the decisive one at the 87th minute. The first ever first-team goal for GoalFest, who is tonight the toast on VillaPark. AstonVilla with the top 2 finish in the EuropaLeague. That's what they were mean for. At Salzburg eliminated from the competition. There will be no knockout football in Europe for that this season. But 19-year-old Jamaldine Jivel over tips the congratulations from his teammates. Full time at VillaPark. AstonVilla 3, Salzburg 2.
AO comes to Clark v Singapore. Just branding open, screening live from semi-finals at AO by the King. And exclusive AO merchandise to be won.
Diligence, and what's the AO? E-limit. Relatively Latest Chapwood, Superior Surface, fantastic. It fits. What fits? And the Z is sent from a fabulous FootballNight here down at the It is known as the Aston, and for a good reason. It's a beautiful place to come and visit. As history beckons the eyes of the sporting world, watch you with anticipation. We go. It's not the size of the dog, but it's hot dog right. Some shows that EuropeNight. Sure. Those for all fast. Tenors years and one way for be. Gentlemen game. Sport is Devon's great. Great heads will be quickly in form. Children from Bethany, what round? I have big papers from where but in fact always my big home and getting in this one. Not everyone has different materials. It was a journey that everyone remembers. Gary Tyson, Italian French child is a shade, you know. It was the most incredible thing I've ever come across. It is really just it's Father Sancho and to get more of the open half the UELMatch is it? It's sit Nash. We have got a real contest at our hands. We're plenty to sure about. All correctness and start horsepower has got of spirit. Now that's Cowan. High old tennis from Sinner. Djokovic, greatest of all time. Chip. Vicious couch. We have got a real contest at our hands. We're plenty to sure about. Oh, correctness and start plus that. Let's go. Bob Spirit. No, that's talent. High ball tennis from center. Djokovic, the greatest of all time. So, chip. Swap. Vicious kills. Held it.
En igen, dat January cusses and bomb is undergone. There is only one topic, last conversation.
I take it. Sebastian, we have another great season. Give me a goal for it then. Thank you. Let maybe 2026 will be his last dance. When the thing on, so right. After winning his studio, no, I mean, I mean, I think it will do somebody's for more. Kill be the man to look at it. This hair is so fast. It's still his first win in the very sea and can leave me in this year. What about Delphine? I think he would be dead, but and I really think enough in the chin. Let's not forget about Jerry Nerby, World Jackers 2 years ago. They won the Monte Carlo.
Jerry will be the man to beat that. That's why it's still will be in there.
I don't know. And Spawn right now, it checks for some this year. It's really nice that big teams are bringing new drivers to the championship. You know that. We are always expecting is no. It's then hard conditions. It's on the go. It's all about playing and going. Something in the last what I said we're really winning now with our feet. The time for talking is over. And Sebastian Ogier, welcome to Adi Monte Carlo. The 2026 WRC season was officially launched in system in Blackjack of Monaco Harbour. The labels were the first to glimpse the bargain year breeze of the Toyota, Hyundai and Sport third seasons, ahead of a season promising the best marine action on the planet. The World's Race Hunted drivers will tackle a range of surfaces over 4 continents in motorsports ultimate global adventure. There's no circuit racing on pristine tarmac. What the WRC does have is icy, treacherous alpine passes in the dark European winter, 180 km/h snowbound forest trails on the edge of the Arctic Circle. 10 years East African plains, stimulus tree line tests in the shadow of Japan's Mount Fuji, high-speed blind press in the rainforests and on the Pacific coast of South America. Suspension smashing European gravel, all ending in the Arabian deserts. The WRC season was in delight at the 94th edition of Valley Monte Carlo. The championship's most unpredictable event remains a ruthless test of judgment and, as always, the perfect curtain raiser of the year. 9-time world champion Sebastian Ogier leads the Toyota Gazoo racing lineup in search of a 10th crown, with Welshman Albin Evans still chancing his first at the 5 runners-up finishes. New signing Oliver Salzburg creates a buzz after his win in Estonia last year. Taking Katsuta and Sami Chiari complete the squad, both looking to convert flashes of speed into sustained results. 2024 champion EuropeNight heads the attack of the Hyundai Shalmo this World Rally team. Adrian Corno returns for a second season with his eyes firmly on that first WRC win. He impressed in Monte Carlo last year. The third car will be rotated between Hayden Padden, Esa Petalappi and Danny Sordo. the software mark convinced that experience counts in the last season of this generation of Body 1 car. In the sport forward lineup here in Monte Carlo with a youthful and ambitious squad. John Hopkins moves up from the ERC to join fellow Irishman Josh McAlean, both for 4 seasons. Edouard Munster is entered in a third Pima for Ballet Monte Carlo, with Latvian Marcin Sasks confirmed the 6 rounds, with the 7th at Rally Saudi Arabia under consideration. 2026 sees the return of the team the most decorated history in rallying. Lancia will compete in the WRC2 category after firm Johan Mussel and Nikolai Guizin as the drivers to steer ahead their campaign in the Epson Mode CUHF Integrale. Monaco Harbour and the calm before the storm. The class of 2026 high demurs as the start of Valle Monte Carlo. Jules Thompson. In Monte Carlo we for 3 stages, and one can be just done, the next one can be full snow, and the last one can be full dry. So it's part of the way in. You just need to make the best or read the best of God, tell your truth. It's the weather that really puts the cat amongst the pigeons, let's say. Yeah, you never quite know what you're going to face, even if the conditions seem quite straightforward. You can wake up in the morning, black ice, frost. It's never easy there. I think there's some high points, or if it's cold enough, if it's been wet the previous day, it might get a bit icy or some snow. Even if it's not snowing or anything, with the itinerary they made, the amount of cuts and pollution that there's going to be, it's going to be like every stage is in different places, but it's going to be different weather every stage, and mud and snow and dry and everything. So what tires do great? I have no clue. So let's see. What will be the biggest challenge this weekend, you think? Because I think to somehow just agree because the industry is changing a lot. Made the good tire choices as always, but at the end it's always all about getting the information, making the right call, and having the good one. Current world champion Sebastian Ogier leads the field over the ceremonial stars. Even as a 10-time winner here, he knows the Monte Itamanci ability, no stone will be left unturned in his preparation. Known as the Monte Maestro, Ogier is born and raised in this region of the French Alps. He has a deep connection to this iconic rally. Everything started here for me, and more importantly, the dream started here as a kid, watching on the side of the road, watching those cars and thinking I would never have the chance to do it, but still dreaming of doing it one day. And it's this dream growing me, and then I find my path doing the sport, and it's still in my eyes the most iconic rally of the championship. Also the most difficult, but at the end, it's the one I want to win the most in the season. So part of my soul, I don't know, but that's something Monte Carlo have a unique place in me, and will always have. In the lead up to the Mali, Ogier's hometown Gap honoured one of their own to celebrate his 9th World Championship. For sure, it's a moment where you feel something special happen out of your life, of course, but it's also a moment where I feel it's nice for me, but it's also very important to do for the people, because they've been supporting me my whole career, and I think they enjoy a lot also this moment together, our celebration, and I got actually almost more positive comment from that than from a race sometimes. Like, this show is amazing. And most being the approach of that boy from Gap in achieving his 9 drivers' titles. Staying humble, always question himself, always try to learn from mistakes. Of course, even from success, there is always something to learn. Coming in Monte Carlo is a very good example. A lot of people would think, after so many success here, just need to play press repeat, it will be easy. But the truth is that it's the most difficult event in the year, and I come here was, being very humble, knowing that nothing is secure here, and I have to work hard. I think also one of the leading things is enjoying what you do. If you enjoy, usually you perform well. So you have to keep always remembering yourself that it's a big chance being here, living this dream of a job.
The itinerary features 17 competitive stages over 340 kilometers of constantly changing asphalt. The weather creams will earn their money this year with snow, ice, rain and even dry conditions forecast. The challenge is to predict when and where they'll hit.
The Lenta 2026 season commence. Welcome everybody to the FIA World
Rally Championship and the stunning opening round, the legendary Rally Monte Carlo. 3 stages will run tonight, and the weather conditions are the major. Sebastian Honiger then heads into Rally Monte Carlo. He's won it 10 times. This isn't a money shot one for him. He wants to win every rally, but this one the most.
Yeah, absolutely, Bex. It's a big event for him, isn't it? And I've got to say, I think he's been the bravest so far with the tyre choice. People started too super soft. This is definitely super soft conditions. This man as well, Elvin Evans, similar choice, well, exactly the same choice as Sebastian Ogier, going for the started in super soft compound mix, and the super soft is definitely the one to be on. It has looked a little bit more committed from Elvin Evans, though. Car looks hooked up through there. The Toyota's working well straight out of the box. The Salzburg has already impressed at Rally 1 level with a win in Estonia last year. I didn't expect him to be so quick on the opener and Monty. Yeah, absolutely welcome into the top flight. Mr. Salzburg, he's running a slightly different tyre package as well. Evans and Ogier with the studded and super soft cloths. Salzburg are running the Windsor Cross. It's working for him. Quicker than Ogier, just down Evans. Difficult conditions now. It's changed from the opening stage. We've got snow, we've got ice. Caution is needed. You don't want to risk it all at this point. Am I? Hold on. Classic Rally Monte Carlo conditions. This is where Sebastian Ogier just leads generations back. We talk about it a lot. You overstep the mark, outbrake yourself very quickly. You're off the road here. Second stage. Boy, slower than Elvin. That's so unlike you.
many of them are. So,
how are the others making me aware?
Well, keen to see what this young man can do in a full season already on the second stage of Rally Monte Carlo. Is massively impressive.
Yeah, incredibly difficult conditions here, Max. And just look, he's just dancing with the car, showing great confidence already. And up on the split times, and it could even be a change of rally leader here. That's Evans. He's not far from the end of the stage now, just his left-hander to negotiate. But impatient before he gets on the throttle. Look at that time, he's dropping him away. Oliver Salzburg leads in Monte Carlo. Whedon's equipping nuts. Stop now, Shane, but on that W, set to heavy. He stalled the car as well. They're fighting. He'll get it going. There's 5 or 6 seconds off there. Now he's got to compose himself. This is where you end up making a mistake. His first ever Monty, mistakes are to be expected. Straight to a mistake. Hopefully he hasn't picked up any damage. That was a fairly big bang on that front right. Bring them up. Fantastic to see the atmosphere out on the stage. It is purely electric from the fans. There you look. Here's how they look at this, Jenny. Can he look around for? Yeah, the fans might love it, but the drivers won't be. These conditions are treacherous. You just can't see anything at all. Even switching off the main beam